drained and exhausted is how many home buyers felt at the end of 2023. But as we close out this year and head into 2025, is that really how they're feeling now at the end of the year? Stay tuned to learn a little bit about what happened in Santa Cruz County real estate this past year and how that compares with our predictions back in January. It's no shock that homebuyers at the end of the year last year were facing huge affordability concerns, interest rates of almost 8%, a shifting economy, further limiting insurance options for our local area. That made a huge impact to the local market. And through this year, with a new election cycle, nonstop bombardment of media headlines, and real estate industry changes, this has definitely been a year for the books. As a quick recap, many of us here in the industry at the beginning of the year predicted that interest rates for mortgages would decrease throughout the year, which would ideally get rid of that golden handcuff that's been impacting a lot of homeowners right now, where it's just not affordable to upgrade your living situation and move up into a new home. So because of the high interest rates that a lot of people have, and the general consensus is as you get the mortgage interest rates closer to 5%, you'll see a lot of current homeowners deciding to sell their current home and move up into a bigger home because that purchase, that affordability would have been worth it. Which in turn would also help home buyers currently shopping because that would increase the inventory. In turn, if you're an economics person, you know that supply and demand very much makes an impact on your local housing market. I'll get into that in a minute, but another big prediction from this past year that we had made was that home buyers would continue to reap the rewards of asking for seller credits, just having more negotiating power in general compared to years beforehand when it was such a hot seller's market. And for the most part, my predictions, they were correct. While we didn't really see like a drastic reduction of mortgage interest rates, they did stabilize this past year, which is great to see. Now, if you remember 2022 to 2023, they shot up pretty significantly. And in 2023, they kind of went like this all year long, with the peak being in October of 23, or basically just over 8%. Today, they're kind of hovering around the mid sixes, depending on your credit score. Of course, there are other factors that are in play, but for many people that I've been working with, they've been able to get an interest rate around that low 6%, maybe slightly under if you leverage a seller credit. And you didn't really see giant fluctuations throughout the year. While they did decrease, they kind of only decreased a little bit at a time. So we have more stability right now, which makes people more confident. Now, one thing that happened this year that I don't think a lot of agents really saw coming is the market change we saw in the summer. Historically and seasonally, late spring, early summer is like the peak selling season when the most buyers are out there shopping around. Your open houses, if you're selling your home, are usually very busy. You get a lot of people through the door, you get a lot of feedback really quickly, and homes don't usually sit on the market as long during this peak season. But this summer, especially in Boulder Creek, in the Santa Cruz Mountains, in your more rural areas, no, not so much the Bay Area, it really slowed down. And it was shocking for most of the agents in this area. At any given point throughout the summer, I had multiple listings available for sale in Boulder Creek, and I was getting phone calls from other agents in the area and other ones that had I thought were gorgeous listings, calling me as well saying, "What's going on? Are you getting people?" And yeah, the market was slower. Our homes are still selling. They're still selling for a good chunk of change. Seller expectations are overall still being met, but sellers needed way more patience this year than they needed in years prior. And it's all related to all of the factors that are going on in the local industry. But it's one thing that I didn't see anybody predict as we started 2024. And I'm very curious if we're going to continue to see kind of that slower movement as we head on through 2025. Inventory has certainly grown. I like to look at the absorption rate for this key piece of data. Basically what that is if you took all the homes that are currently for sale on the market right now in a specific area and didn't add any new ones, how long would it take roughly to sell off all that current inventory? Right now, let's look at Boulder Creek, right? Right now in Boulder Creek, that rate, it would take about 8 months to sell out all of the current inventory. Compare that number to what it was this month last year, the end of 2023, it only took 3 months to sell off all the current data. Going from 3 to 8 is a really drastic change. At a high level, your key marker is about 6. Once it takes about 6 months to sell off all the current inventory, that's when you're technically entering a buyer's market. And we're above 6 months, so what does that tell you? I honestly cannot say that I am surprised to see this just based off of affordability concerns by themselves. And that's not saying that homes are overpriced. Even your ones that traditionally are the sexiest homes, they showed beautifully, they had a lot of good features going for them. And when they sold, they didn't sell like significantly below asking or anything. They were priced correctly. Even those homes sat on the market for the majority of the summer. It's just not the market that we've seen recently since COVID, but it was kind of a normal market before then. So we're just kind of going back to that normality. Now, again, if you're in the Bay Area, San Jose, Mountain View, Los Altos, Santa Cruz even, you are seeing a slightly different market. So take this as a sign that gone are the days that you just stick the home online and put a for sale sign in the yard. You really need to hire an agent that has proven strategies and a good track record to get you the results that you actually want and need to move on to your next chapter. Because on average, homes are not selling in just a couple weeks anymore here in Santa Cruz County, even if they are damn near perfect. Most buyers are leveraging seller credits. Sellers are, on average, agreeing to give back a little bit of their sales proceeds to make a deal go through smoother and quicker. Price reductions have become a very normal conversation that many sellers are willing to have at this point. There's more inventory to choose from now. Sellers seem to be more motivated, and if you're looking for a good deal or that right opportunity, it might actually be out there waiting for you right now. If you've been on the fence about buying, I say it's time to jump in. Start those conversations with a good realtor that you trust, and let's actually get you to where you want to be. Same with sellers. If you are thinking of selling your home next year, have those conversations with your realtor sooner rather than later, because the market is not as fast as it was. It does take some time, some prep work, some good strategies to leverage. So you really want to be able to set yourself up for success early enough so that you too can have the results that you actually want. Thank you so much for watching my end of the year market update. I hope it was a valuable piece of information for you. As always, I am here for you as your local realtor here in Santa Cruz County, and I'm always happy to help, whether that's buying or selling or just learning about the area in general. Call or text me anytime. I'll take you out to coffee too.